What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our late night news roundup here on Anfield Agenda. And as promised, we have a bit of a breaking story around a particular midfielder that Liverpool are pursuing. Lots more to come over the next few minutes, but you know what I'm going to ask you to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and of course we'd love you to hit that subscribe button. I'm not going to hang around because I do have a lot to get stuck into, so let's start off with a quick recap before we get stuck into the main part of the video. Jeremy Frimpong has been linked with Liverpool. We know he has a release clause of €35 million in his contract for this summer, but what we also found out today, according to WESLEY, was that can be paid in 4 installments, making it perhaps even more of interest to Liverpool to get the deal done. They wouldn't have to go and pay all of that £30 million or €35 million in one lump sum. Maybe it makes it a bit more appealing to Michael Edwards and co. And I do think there are some substance to those links. Now I want to move on to a story from MIDFIELD around Rodrigo and a potential move to Liverpool Football Club. It's no secret that we've been linked with Rodrigo in the past and that Rodrigo has been somebody who we've had admiring glances towards. But Matt has said, expect Liverpool to do their due diligence on a potential deal for Rodrigo, but let me make one thing clear, he writes. His team reached out to Liverpool and not the other way around. Now, I don't know in what situation he ends up becoming a Liverpool player. I really don't. Who is he going to take the place of? Mohamed Salah's on the right. If we sell Luis Diaz, then perhaps there's a world where Rodrigo could come in and play or compete with Cody Gakpo from the left-hand side. But honestly, as much as I'd want it to be the case, I just don't see how it works. So keep an eye on it. If it develops or if we see something maybe that says Luis Diaz is likely to depart, well, we'll let you know. There have been reports today to suggest that Saudi clubs are going to make another attempt to sign him. Fabrizio Romano said that Liverpool would take about €80 million to sell Luis Diaz. And of course, there's stuff around Darwin Núñez and Al Hilal as well. So before we move on to the main story of today's video, I want to speak about WESLEY. Sky Sports have once again linked Liverpool to the Flamengo right back, but to the best of our understanding, it's Manchester City that are pushing to try and get a deal sorted for him even before the Club World Cup. They go on to say that he could cost as much as £30 million. So my understanding is that maybe we're going in the Frimpong direction and they're going in the WESLEY direction. They've also looked at Tino Livramento, but again, this is a developing situation. But as far as I know, City are making a stronger push for WESLEY than Liverpool are, although we have scaled them and been linked with them. Now, I've teased you enough. Let's get on to the main point of this video. Now, before we start reading this out, full credit to Ben Spochak, Anfield Watch, and you will find a link to the full article in the description of this video. So we always want to credit our friends over there for their work, and we will have the link in the description of this video if you want to read this piece in its entirety. But it is an interesting one. So the piece said, Anfield Watch can exclusively reveal that at the very top of Liverpool's list of holding midfield targets is, drumroll please, it isn't Martin Zubimendi, and it isn't anybody who I think we've mentioned before. It is Mikel Jauregzigar, or Jauregzigar, spelled J-A-U or E-G-I-Z-A-R. And of course it's another player whose name I'm going to struggle to pronounce, so we'll just call him Mikel from this point forward. This piece here said that the club scouts have been really impressed by his performances this season and see him as the ideal candidate to bring to Anfield to be the disruptor in Arne Slot's midfield. Now, we didn't know how serious or interested in midfield was going to be. We didn't know whether we were going to see, let's say, Stefan Bajcetic come back in and be the rotational player. We didn't know whether Tyler Morton was going to be kept, what James McConnell's future was. And to some extent, we still don't know. But this guy has caught my eye on a couple of occasions, and it is only a handful that I've watched at Athletic Club Bilbao. I know there are going to be people in the comments who've watched a lot more of them than me. Of course, United just dispatched them easily, but even in a player at a club like Athletic who were swept aside by United, there is still always a couple of gems in there. He's only 21 years of age and has become, according to this, a pivotal part of Athletic Bilbao's season. Spanish under-21 international as well. What else do we know? The piece goes on to say that he's a technically gifted player capable of breaking lines, creating chances for teammates and playing from a deeper position. Went on to talk about him playing a little bit in Old Trafford. The defensive side of his game stands out most according to this piece. He averages more tackles and interceptions than Ryan Gravenberch with 4.68 per 90 minutes versus Ryan Gravenberch's 3.75. Now, that could be for a whole host of reasons. Liverpool could be a team that have more possession and don't face as many attacks, as an example. So, don't read too much into that. Also, it gives a comparison for him against Martin Zubamendi, and it said that Zubamendi has 3.65 per 90, whereas again the interceptions from, let's keep Mikel as the name, has 4.68. The club are ready to make a move for him, but a lot will depend on potential outgoings and incomings as well. That is a very interesting story for me, because truly, I had no idea if any interest really lay for Liverpool in midfield. Now, we ran a poll tonight on the channel where we asked everybody to give us what position they thought was going to be the one most in need of refreshing this summer. We said striker forward, left back, right back, centre back. And without any shadow of a doubt, it was far and away striker/forward that was the position that you guys think Liverpool are most in need of a refresh in. But this guy, 21 years of age, ticks a box there. Probably undervalued compared to some of the comparables, let's say, the likes of Zubamendi and whatnot. We know that it would be right in Michael Edwards' sweet spot to bring in somebody of that age profile. What we also know is it's difficult to get players out of Bilbao. They generally want to keep hold of their players, and usually it would be for a fairly significant fee. So this piece doesn't mention a potential transfer fee. So do let me know. I'm excited by this news, also a little bit intrigued as I have a lot of homework to do, but let me know what you guys think about him. He goes on to say that he showed a Steven Gerrard-esque pile driver into the top corner against Manchester United as well, and I do remember seeing that goal, and it was an absolute belter. Again, apologies about the pronunciation of his name, but it is Mikel, Mikel, surname Jau or Egizar. Oh my god, I can't pronounce this name. Uregazar. There you go. That's my best attempt at it. Apologies, no offense intended to anybody there from the Bilbao region, but any help with the pronunciation would also be welcome. So that is pretty much it for tonight's video. That is a name that I have not seen mentioned anywhere else, by the way. So do check out the article in its entirety. As I mentioned, the link will be in the description of this video. Just another heads up to say that the preview for the Arsenal game will be out at 10 a.m. in the morning. So make sure that you check that one out. I've called it basically a preview / Craig Smugathon because it is. It's a very different preview to a lot of other previews I've done. And also there won't be a live stream tomorrow night. Tickets for our shows you can also get with the link in the description of this video. They are selling really, really well, particularly the final day of the season one in Liverpool. So if you want to come and see us for that one, I wouldn't hang around. I'd get it sorted as soon as you can. And again, thank you for your continued support. It's been another record month for us on the channel. 8.1 million views as of right now. And thank you so much to you all for your continued support. We'll catch up with you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.